I come here,
每次来这边我们都很兴奋，
it feels like family.
因为好像回家一样，
Yes, it is family.
是家。
You know, relationships is what makes life worthwhile.
这个人跟人中间的关系，使得我们值得活。
Yeah, and life isn't just about your resume.
因为我们活着不是光为了简历表，
It's about those relationships that make you feel like you've had a meaningful journey.
而是这一些人跟人中间关系，使得你知道你活了一个有意义的人生。
And it's certainly true of your faith journey.
你信心之旅也是这个样子。
At the heart of the Christian faith is not just a set of doctrines.
我们基督教信仰的中心，并不是就是一些神学理论，
It's not just a set of ethical rules.
而且也不仅光是一些道德的规条，
It is a relationship with God,
而是一个与神之间的关系，
and in particular relationship with this person, Jesus.
尤其是与耶稣之间的关系。
And that's what I want to talk to you about today.
这也就是今天我想跟大家分享的。
Sometimes we think that it's a little presumptuous to have a friendship with God.
有时候我们觉得，怎么可能跟神中间会有友谊呢？
He is my creator. He is my master.
他是我的创造主，他也是我生命的主宰，
He is my savior.
他是我的救主，
He's my redeemer.
他是拯救我的。
How can I be friends with him?
我怎么可能跟他之间会成为朋友呢？
But Jesus himself says
但是耶稣自己说过，
in John 15:15,
在约翰福音第15章第15
he
节，
said, I no longer call you servants.
他说：“以后我不再称你们为仆人，
The servant does not know what his master's business.
因为仆人不知道主人所做的事。
Instead, I've called you friends.
我乃称你们为朋友，
For everything that I have learned from my Father, I have made known to you.
因为我从父所听见的，已经都告诉你们了。
I know most of you here are probably Christians.
我知道在座可能大部分都已经是基督徒，
Perhaps some of you are not yet Christians.
但可能有一些还不是基督徒。
I just want to introduce to you today my friend Jesus.
今天我就是要把我的好朋友耶稣介绍给你。
Let's pray.
我们来祷告。
Lord, it's good to be in your house. It's good to be among your people.
主啊，来到你的家，跟你家里的人在一起，真的是让人非常喜乐。
Father, I just pray that you would give us attentive ears.
主啊，求你开我们的耳朵，让我们注意听，
Help us to hear your voice.
让我们能够听见你的声音。
In Jesus.
奉耶稣名求。
Okay. So, if you're going to introduce someone to a friend of yours,
如果你要把一个人介绍给你的朋友，
if you want to know a person well,
如果你想好好的认识这个人，
the best way to do is to observe them in action.
最终我觉得最好的一个方法就是来观察这个人所做的事，
See how they react to different people in different settings.
看这个人在不同的情况对不同的人是怎么样的反应。
Indeed, that's what the Bible does.
圣经就是为了这个，
It gives us many snapshots, narratives of how Jesus reacted in different settings.
它就是告诉我们耶稣在不同的情况有怎么样与人中间的互动跟反应。
It is through these that we get to understand who it is that we have become friends with.
借着这一些，我们来认识这一位恩友是谁。
And so today I want to go through a passage in the Gospel of Mark,
今天我会跟大家从念的一段经文是马可福音，
chapter 2,
马可福音第2章
verses 1 to 17.
第1到第17节。
I'm not sure. Can you read it from the back?
可以啊，好，谢
All
谢
right.。Great. So I will ask Lily to read it in Chinese.
我会以中文为大家念出来。马可福音第2章，过了些日子，耶稣又进了迦百农，人听见他在房子里，就有许多人聚集，甚至连门前都没有空地。耶稣就对他们讲道：有人抬一个摊子来见耶稣，是用4个人抬来的，因为人多不得进前，就把耶稣所在的房子拆了房顶，既拆通了，就把摊子连所躺卧的褥子都坠下来。耶稣见他们的信心，就对摊子说：小子，你的罪赦了。有几个文士坐在那里，心里议论说：这个人为什么这样说呢？他说浅忘的话了，除了神以外，谁能赦罪呢？耶稣心里知道他们心里这样议论，就对 就说你们心里为什么这样议论呢？或对摊子说你的罪赦了，或说起来拿你的褥子行走，哪一样容易呢？但要叫你们知道人子在地上有赦罪的权柄。就对摊子说，我吩咐你起来，拿你的褥子回家去吧。那人就起来，立刻拿着褥子，当众人面前出去了，以致众人都惊奇，归荣耀与神，说我们从来没有见过这样的事。耶稣又出到海边去，众人就了他来，他便教训他们。耶稣经过的时候，看见亚勒腓的儿子利未坐在税关上，就对他说：“你跟从我来。”他就起来跟从了耶稣。耶稣在利未家里坐席的时候，有好些税吏和罪人与耶稣并门徒一同坐席，因为这样的人多，他们也跟随耶稣。法利赛人中的文士看见耶稣和罪人与税吏一同吃饭，就对门徒说：“他和税吏并罪人一同吃喝吗？”耶稣听见，就对他们说：“康健的人用不着医生，有病的人才用得着。我来本不是招义人，乃是招罪人。”
Wonderful. So it's a pretty long passage.
这段经文蛮长的。
It describes two events.
在这里讲到两件事情。
The first one has to do with a healing.
第一个是讲到医治。
A paralytic who was healed by Jesus.
一个瘫子被耶稣医治了。
The second one describes a calling.
第二个是讲到一个呼召。
A tax collector by the name of Levi was called by Jesus to follow him.
一个叫做利未的一个税吏被耶稣呼召了，他就跟随耶稣。
On the surface, it looks like these two stories have not much to do with each other.
在表面上，觉得这两个故事好像彼此并没有相关。
But there are actually many common threads.
但事实上，这两个故事有很多的共同点。
And the summary verse at verse 17 seems to bring it all together.
在第17节的一个结论，就把这两个故事归纳起来。
It says, "It is not the healthy who need a doctor, but the sick."
耶稣在这里说，康健的人用不着医生，是有病的人才用得着。
I have not come to call the righteous, but sinners.
我来不是招义人，乃是招罪人。
Yeah, it seems this is not the only place in the Bible where these two stories were put together, followed by this verse.
在圣经里，并不是只有马可福音把这两个故事合在一起，然后以同样的经文来结束。
In fact, this is exactly the presentation in the Gospel of Luke and also the Gospel of Matthew.
事实上，马太福音以及路加福音都是照着同样的秩序记录这两件事情。
And then followed by this same verse.
而且接着有同样的经文来做结论。
So let's spend a little time looking at this verse.
所以我们来花一点时间看一下这个经节。
It says he contrasts those who are healthy with those who are sick.
他把健康的跟生病的做了一个对照。
You see the contrast.
你看到他两个中间的对照。
He says there's two types of people, the healthy and the sick.
他说有两群人，一群是健康的，一群是有病的。
And then he said there are two types of people.
然后说他有两类人。
He says the righteous and the sinners.
一类是义人，一类是罪人。
He says this is two types.
他是说就这两类。
And he says I came like a doctor. I come for those who are sick.
我来就像个医生，是为病人而来。
He says I am looking for sinners.
我在这里是找罪人。
You know, oftentimes we see today in internet, if you need anything, you can just put out an ad.
我们知道今天在网络上，你需要什么东西，你就做一个广告。
You know, you can have TaskRabbit. You can ask, you say, well, or Airbnb. I have an apartment to rent. It's easy to find someone.
你知道现在无论是租房，无论是找人工作，你都可以有网站可以找。
Yeah, you just put out an ad and someone responds.
如果你就去找的话，就有人就会回应你。
If God puts out an ad today, what would it say?
如果今天神也登了一个广告，你想这个广告会说什么呢？
What kind of people are God looking for?
你觉得神在找什么样的人呢？
This passage says,
这个经文告诉我，
it may not be what we think.
可能不是我们想象中的那种人。
It's like this profound declaration.
就是这一个非常深奥的宣称。
It's as if God wrote a want ad.
就好像神登了一个找人寻人的启示。
It's wanted.
他说我在找
Broken-hearted sinner.
心灵破碎的罪人，
A contrite spirit.
一个悔改的心。
Overqualified individuals need not apply.
如果你资格太高了，你就不必来回应。
So when we think about going to church,
当我们想到来教会，
we often don't think like that.
常常我们不是那个样想，
We think good people go to church.
我们觉得好人来教会，
We think church is for righteous people.
我们觉得来教会的人都是行为很端正的人。
But the funny thing is, God is looking for something very different.
但你知道，神所寻找的人是不同的人，
Jesus says He's looking for not the righteous, but the sinners.
因为他在找，不是在找义人，乃是在找罪人。
Now, let me just go back a little bit and look at the context of this story.
来，我们来看一下这个故事。
This is pretty early in Jesus' ministry.
这是在耶稣刚刚出来传道没有多久，
He's 30, about 30.
他那时候差不多30
He
岁。
started his ministry in the north end of Israel,
他开始是在以色列国北边开始，
near the northern end of the Sea of Galilee, in a town called Capernaum.
在加利利海的北边一个叫加百农的地方，
He performed many miracles,
在那里行了很多神迹，
healed many people.
医治了很多人。
Suddenly, he had very large crowds following him.
突然一下，就好多人在跟着他。
Yeah, and in the last verse of the previous chapter,
在前面这一章的最后，
it says that he became so well known that he could no longer enter a town openly, but stayed outside in lonely places.
说到耶稣，因为跟随着他的人太多，他都不能进城了，然后他就只有在外边的旷野待着。
But it says, yet people still came to him from everywhere.
就是那个样子，也是一大群人到旷野去找他。
Then in the beginning of this chapter, chapter 2,
然后在第2章一开始的时候，
it says Jesus again entered the town of Capernaum,
说到耶稣又回到了那个加百农的城，
and people came in crowds.
很多人拥拥挤挤的来找
There was
他，
such large numbers.
来找他的人这么多，
There's no room for people to stand.
连站的地方都没有，
So he preached the word to them.
所以他在那里跟他们传讲信息。
Now, he is in a house, a peasant's house.
他是在一个农夫的家里，
The peasant's house in those days are one-room structures.
在那个时候，他们住的房子就只有一间屋，
This flat roof,
是平的屋顶。
hard to fit even like 40, 50 people in
我
there.
相信连40-50个人都挤不进去。
They have these wood beams with mud and straw over the top.
它的屋顶呢是有几根柱子，然后就是一些草、一些泥巴把它糊起来的。
And outside, usually there's a stairwell.
通常在屋子的外面有一个楼梯。
Yeah, so you can imagine, just picture yourself sitting in this hot, crowded room.
你自己可以想象一下，置身在那个又挤又热的房子里
And
面。
suddenly you hear some noise.
突然你就听到一些声音，
The mud starts falling down from the ceiling.
泥巴开始从上面往下掉。
Yeah, and some people seem to have dug through the roof.
抬头一看啊，有人把屋顶给掏空了。
And then this guy is getting lowered down in a mat.
然后更妙的是，有一个人坠在褥子上，就慢慢的坠下来了。
Yeah, and Jesus looks at him,
耶稣看着这个人，
and Jesus heals him.
耶稣就医治了他。
Yeah. Later on, we see a different story.
后来我们看到另外一个故事，
We saw this tax collector.
看到这个税吏，
He was just sitting there along the shore of the Sea of Galilee.
他就坐在加利利海边的税关上。
And Jesus called him.
耶稣叫了他。
These seem like completely different people.
这两个好像是完全不一样的两个人，
But there are at least 3 commonalities between them.
但这两个人至少有3点是相同的。
First,
第一点，
they both recognize their need.
他们两个都认出了自己的需要，
They both recognize their need.
两个人都认出了自己的需要。
Second,
第二点，
they both place their faith in Jesus.
他们两个都把信心建立在耶稣的身上。
Third,
第三点，
they each took a step in faith.
他们两个都跨出了信心的一步，
They seized their opportunities.
抓住了他们的机
Let
会。
me go through each of these.
我会为大家分析这3点。
The first one,
第一点，
these 2 people, they both recognize their need.
这两个人都认出了自己的需要。
One of the most difficult things about our faith journey is realizing what we really need.
我觉得我们信心之旅可能最大的一个困难，就是到底你知道不知道你里面最大的需要是什么？
Yeah, oftentimes we grow up,
常常当我们成长的时候，
like I grew up.
像我，
I was born in Taiwan.
我是在台湾出生的。
I moved to Canada when I was 9 years old.
我9岁的时候搬到加拿大，
I grew up in southern Ontario,
在安大略省的南边，
near Toronto.
靠近多伦多。
My mother became a Christian first.
我妈妈先成了基督徒，
My father was an atheist.
我爸爸说他自己是无神
So
论，
I grew up confused.
所以我长起来被他们长大的时候被他们俩搞得糊里糊涂的。
Yeah. But one thing I felt pretty sure.
但有一件事情我觉得很确定。
I'm not a bad guy.
我不是个坏人。
Well, you know, I did some bad things here and there.
我是有时候做了一些不好的事。
Yeah, I once stole some money.
有一次我偷了钱。
Other bad things.
还有一些我都不愿意提的坏事儿。
But you know, if I compare to other people.
但如果跟别人比，
a lot of worse people than me.
那好多人比我要擦镜。
I figure if God grades on a curve, right?
我觉得如果神给我们每个人打分数的话
You know, I may not get an A+, but you know, I'll probably pass, not an F.
我纵使拿不到 A 的话，至少应该及格。
Yeah. And I figured if God is going to send people to hell just because they didn't worship Him, then I don't want to worship that kind of God anyway.
我说，如果有一个神因为不信他就把人打到地狱，这样的神我也不要去信。
I mean, it's not worth it anyway.
因为他不值得我信。
So that stayed that way for a good part of my college life.
我在一直到大学，我都保持这样的心态。
But then over time,
但是时间的流转
I gradually came to realize,
我渐渐的发现到
you know, there are many very important things in my life that I cannot control.
事实上，我的生命里有好多好重要的东西，我真的没有办法去掌控。
Like the health of people I care about.
比方说，我所关爱的、我所爱的人，他们的健康情况。
My father got cancer.
我爸爸得了癌症。
And there are other things.
以及很多其他的事情。
Like my own emotions.
以及我自己的情绪。
My feelings, my actions, my thoughts.
我的感觉、我的行动、我的思想。
These are important things.
这真的是很重要的东西。
But I realized that I couldn't control many of them.
但是太多我没有办法控制。
I started to wonder if there was a higher power.
我那时候就开始想，是不是有一个更大的力量呢？
I started to look for God.
然后就开始寻找神。
Yeah. Look at this paralytic.
你看这个摊子，
It looks like he knows what he needs.
这个摊子好像很知道他自己需要什么。
He has an obvious need.
他有一个很明显的需要。
He's crippled.
他是摊子，
He needs to walk.
他就是希望能够行走。
And he went through a lot of trouble to get his friends to lower him in front of Jesus.
他花了很多的功夫，使他的朋友让他醉在耶稣基督面前。
But look at what happens next.
但你看，接着发生了什么？
Jesus looked at them in verse 5.
第5节。
In verse 5, it says Jesus saw their faith.
在这里告诉我们说，耶稣看见了他们的信心。
So he said to the paralyzed man,
就对摊子说
Son, your sins are forgiven.
孩子，小子，你的罪得赦了。
Isn't that weird?
你不觉得很奇怪吗？
莫名其妙. You know, he wants to walk.
这个摊子就想要走路。
Jesus says your sins are forgiven.
但耶稣却说：“孩子，你的罪得赦了。”
See, God, there's something really important that we need.
你知道有一个我们非常需要的东西，
But we don't even realize we need it.
但是常常我们自己都没有办法意识到我们需要。
We need our sins forgiven.
我们需要我们的罪得赦免。
You remember back in Genesis 3,
你记得在创世纪第3章的时候，
man turned from God.
人转离了神。
Let me take you over there. Oops. Back. Oops. It won't come back. So you remember that God created Adam and Eve in a beautiful place called the Garden of Eden.
大家知道，神创造了亚当跟夏娃在一个很美的地方，叫伊甸园。
Yeah, there was only one thing they must not do, which is eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil.
只有一件事情他们不能做，就是不可以吃分别善恶树上的果子。
And then there comes this very memorable passage in Genesis 3.
然后在第3章就告诉我们一个大家都没有办法忘的一个故事，一件事情。
This is the story of how Adam and Eve ate the fruit.
也就是亚当跟夏娃吃了那个果子。
I'll ask Lily to read chapter 3, verse 6 to 13.
我为大家从创世纪第3章第6到第13节。 于是女人见那树上的果子好多食物，也悦人眼目，且是可喜爱的，能使人有智慧，就摘下果子来吃了，又给她丈夫，她丈夫也吃了。他们的二人眼睛就明亮了，才知道自己是赤身露体，便拿无花果树的叶子为自己编做裙子。天起了凉风，耶和华神在园中行走。那人和他妻子听见神的声音，就藏在园里的树木中，躲避耶和华神的面。耶和华上帝呼唤那人，对他说：“你在哪里？”他说：“我在园中听见你的声音，我就害怕，因为我赤身露体，我便藏了。”耶和华说：“谁？”耶和华说：“谁告诉你赤身露体呢？莫非你吃了我吩咐你不可吃那树上的果子吗？”那人说：“你所赐给我与我同居的女人，把那树上的果子给我吃，我就吃了。”耶和华是第13节呗。耶和华神对女人说：“你做的是什么事呢？”女人说：“那蛇引诱我，我就吃了。”
So many of you are very familiar with this passage.
我想这段经文很多人都很熟悉。
I'm a social scientist.
我是一个社会科学家。
I study things to do with human relationships.
我做的研究是跟人与人中间的关系有关的。
You cannot do any social science without understanding what these passages tell us.
我觉得，如果你要做社会科学研究的话，你必须要了解这几个经文。
Because it tells us so much about the nature of man.
因为这些经文告诉我们太多人的本性是什么。
If you go back to two slides, yeah. That passage, it says their eyes were open.
在这里告诉我们说，他俩吃了果子以后眼睛就亮了。
And they saw they were naked.
然后就看见自己是赤身露体。
It's hard to think of a more vivid description of the human creature.
我觉得没有来形容人的那个样子比这一段更生动的。
The saddest creature.
我觉得它是世界上最可悲的动物。
Because they saw they were naked.
因为他看见自己就是赤身露体。
Next one. Sorry, next one. Then God looks for him.
然后神来寻找他。
And God says, "Where are you?"
神就说：“你在哪里？”
The man responds.
人的回应是
He says, "I'm afraid because I am naked."
他说：“我害怕，因为我赤身露体。”
So I hid.
所以我就藏了。
Those three emotions.
这三个情绪。
The first one is fear.
第一个是恐惧。
The second one is shame.
第二个是羞愧。
The third one is hiding or denial.
第三个是躲藏或者否认。
There is no one anywhere who does not understand these emotions.
我相信没有任何一个人不了解、不知道这三个感觉。
Fear.
恐惧。
Shame.
羞愧。
And denial. The desire to hide that shame.
还有一个就是想把那个羞愧隐藏起来。
It doesn't matter whether you're Muslim or Hindu, you're Christian or Jew. It doesn't matter if you're an atheist.
无论你有没有任何的宗教信仰，无论是伊斯兰教，或者是基督教，或者是印度教，甚至你是无神论，
Everyone knows these emotions.
每一个人都知道这些感觉。
And then comes this devastating conversation.
然后这个人跟神中间有这样的对话。
God asked this question.
神就问了这个问题。
He said, "Adam, who told you you were naked?"
他说：“亚当，谁告诉你你是赤身露体？”
That's a great question he asked us.
这是他问的很好的一个问题，我们也该问问自己。
Who told us we are naked?
谁告诉你你是赤身露体？
Why is it every single day we work so hard to find our self-worth?
为什么我们每一天都很努力的，为了要加增自己的自我价值？
Yeah. What are we looking for?
到底我们在找什么？
A good day is when somebody says something nice about you.
如果有人称赞你，今天你就很舒服。
A bad day is when somebody cuts you off in traffic. And it's not because of the traffic, it's because you feel violated.
哦，你觉得今天非常不好，比方说有人在公路上切了你的车，不是因为任何其他，而是你觉得那个人没有尊敬你。
Yeah. Our sense of self-worth oscillates up and down every day based on such small things.
事实上，我们自己的自我价值每一天上上下下，是因为我们周围发生的点点滴滴。
It's more volatile than the stock market.
事实上，它的上下要比股票市场还要风波大。
Every day it's like we're a broken record and we shout to the world, "I exist." I'm significant. I'm significant. I'm lovable. I'm lovable.
好像每一天我们都要跟周围的世界发出这个信息：我存在，我有价值，我是可爱的。
But we don't feel significant and we don't feel lovable.
但常常我们内心不觉得自己有价值，也不觉得自己是可爱的。
Jesus says it has to do with your sin.
但耶稣说，这是因为你有罪。
What you need the most is to have your sin forgiven.
你最需要的就是你的罪得到赦免。
That's why he says to them,
这就是为什么他对那一个人说，对这个孩子说，你的罪得了赦免。
Yeah. But then comes this conversation.
然后下面就有这一个对话。
Yeah. Other people start to grumble.
其他的人心里开始不高兴。
To grumble.
就你怎么讲叽叽咕咕？
叽叽咕咕. Yeah, it doesn't say 叽叽咕咕, but that's what it means. And verse 8 it says there 叽叽咕咕, and then Jesus said, 你为什么叽叽咕咕? Like, why are you thinking these things? Then the verse 8 is, what did he say?
第8节，耶稣说：“你们心里为什么这样议论呢？”
Yeah, 第8节，你们心里为什么叽叽咕咕? Right. And then in verse 9.
第9节。
Yeah, Jesus asked him, which is easier, to say, get up to this paralytic, or to forgive sins?
所以耶稣就反问了他们一个问题，说：“你说哪一个容易呢？使这个瘫子站起来行走，还是赦免罪呢？”
Of course, neither is easy.
当然，我们知道答案是这两个都不容易。
One of them you cannot see.
有一个是你看不到的。
How do you see sin forgiven?
你怎么看得到罪得赦免？
So Jesus says.
所以耶稣说
So that you would know.
但要叫你们知道。
That the Son of Man, He has the authority on earth to forgive sins.
人子在地上有赦罪的权柄。
He turns around and says, "Get up and walk."
然后他就对这个摊子说：“你起来，拿你的褥子走吧，回家去。”
He says, "You have a deeper need."
他跟他说：“你们有一个跟这个摊子说，你有一个更深的需要。”
This miracle is just an illustration.
这一个神迹只不过是来表明另外一件事实。
He says, "The most important thing is that you have been forgiven by God."
最重要的就是你的罪已经得到了神的赦免。
This is what will set you free today.
这个就是真正使你今天得自由。
I hope that the Spirit of God will move you this morning.
我真的希望今天早上神的灵也会在你的心里动工。
That you will recognize this Jesus' view of reality.
你可以认识到耶稣清楚所看见的事实。
And to know your real need.
也看清你自己最大的需要。
So number one, they recognize their need.
所以第一点就是这两个人都看见自己的需要。
The second is they place their faith in Jesus.
第二点就是他们两个都把信心建立在耶稣的身上。
We could recognize our need, but where do we turn?
我们可能看见自己需要，但我们到哪里去找人帮助呢？
Why put our faith in Jesus?
为什么要把信心建立在耶稣的身上呢？
Some of my friends say, I just believe in the way, the truth, God.
有一些人说，我就是相信这种道。
I believe there's a governing power, there's a principle that runs the whole universe.
我相信在这个宇宙中有一个掌管的能力，有一个掌管的原则。
Why should I believe in Jesus?
但我为什么要相信耶稣呢？
It's so limiting. He's a person.
他是一个人，实在是觉得很局限。
I think there may be many reasons why God chose to reveal Himself in Christ.
为什么神要借着耶稣来显明他呢？
But one thing is very clear, which is the idea of love.
其中有一个很重要的因素，就是因为爱。
The personhood and love of God is the center of Christianity.
神的位格以及神的爱是基督教信仰的中
It's a
心，
unique aspect.
也是一个独特的一面。
What is love?
什么是爱？
Think back on your life.
你回想一下你过去这一生，
Have you ever experienced love?
有没有经历过爱？
How do you know you've experienced love?
你怎么知道你经历过爱？
Who do you think of when you think of someone who loved you?
当你想到有人爱你的话，那个人是谁？
I think we think of love when we think about someone who paid a price for us.
大部分都是我们想到一个为我们付出代价的人，
Someone who sacrificed something.
有一个人为了我们牺牲。
But my mom, I have always known she loved me.
我一直都知道我妈妈爱我。
I remember when I went to college, there's a cold place called Waterloo.
我大学是去滑铁卢大学，那边很冷。
My mom stayed up at night to sew a blanket so that I could have it when I go to college.
我妈连夜缝了一条棉被，就使得我能够带到大学去。
It was harder for me to know my father loved me.
但要我知道我爸爸爱我比较困难。
Because he was the typical Chinese father.
因为我爸爸是个典型的中国父亲。
He doesn't hug much.
他很少拥抱我。
And when I get a 95, he will say, "Where's the other 5?"
我考了95分，他会说其他5分到哪去了
But that is maybe the way they show love.
这可能就是他表明爱的一个方法。
But I didn't know, I wasn't sure how he felt towards me.
但是我总是不能确定我爸爸到底对我有什么感觉。
Later, he was very sick.
后来我爸爸病了。
He had surgeries.
他开了刀。
He had to open a hole in his throat, tracheotomy.
他就是需要在喉咙开个洞。
And to talk, he has to plug the hole.
他如果要讲话的话，他先要把这个洞塞住。
When I came home,
当我下班回来
he would say, "How was your day?"
我爸就用那个洞塞着，然后很努力地问我：“你今天好吗？”
Yeah, he would follow me with his eyes.
我走哪儿，他的眼睛跟到哪里。
He didn't have much.
他那时候已经没什么可以给我的。
He always kept some sort of Chinese plums that is supposed to be good for his throat.
他总是带着一些话梅，因为要为他的喉咙。
And he would take them out and go.
他每次都会拿出一个话梅给我。
He just offer it. When someone gives you their last breath, you know they love you.
当你知道一个人最后一口气都献给了你，你就知道那个人真的爱你。
At the center of Christianity is this person Jesus hanging on the cross.
在基督信仰的中心，就是耶稣挂在十字架上。
Praying for those who put him there.
为了那些把他钉在十字架上的人祷告。
That is why we say God is love.
这就是我们为什么告诉你，神就是爱。
He is the one that invites us into a relationship.
是他伸手邀请你跟他建立一个关系。
That is Jesus.
这个就是耶稣。
But what is faith?
但是什么是信心呢？
Look at verse 5 of this passage.
这一章的第5节。
Remember, this man was lowered into the room.
记得这个人是不是被坠下来，坠在耶稣的前面
And then it says in verse 5 that Jesus saw their faith.
第5节告诉我们说，耶稣见他们的信心。
He saw their faith.
他看见了他们的信心。
How do you see faith?
你怎么看信心？
You see, when we look at people,
当我们看人的时候，
we see what's on the outside.
我们总是看到外面。
We see lepers and cripples and prostitutes and tax collectors.
我们看到摊子，看到瘸子，看到长大麻风的，看到税吏。
We see ugliness. We see brokenness.
我们看到的是破碎，看到是丑陋。
When Jesus looks,
但当耶稣看我们
he
的时
sees
候，
the same thing.
他也看到了
He
这
sees
些，
all the brokenness.
所有的破碎他都看，
But he sees more.
但他看得更多。
He sees struggles,
他看到里面的挣扎，
the hope,
看到里面的盼望、
faith,
信心，
and a sincere desire to know God.
以及真的是很渴望认识神。
The Bible often uses the word compassion to describe Jesus.
圣经常常用怜悯来形容耶稣。
Jesus sees someone and says he is filled with compassion, so he healed him.
所以耶稣看到一个人就动了慈心，然后就医治他。
Compassion means co-passion. Passion is suffering. So it's co-suffer with you.
所以怜悯之心就是说与这个人一同受苦的意思。
The Bible says he's filled with compassion with this paralytic.
他对于这个摊子充满了怜悯之心。
Sometimes we think when we go to see God, we are going for an interview.
有时候我们觉得到神的面前，我们好像去面试一样，
We wear our suits.
穿着我们的
We
衣服，
bring our credentials.
带着我们的简
We
历，
say, look at my life.
你就看看我，
We say, look, pretty good, right?
我是蛮好的。
God is looking for someone different.
但是神所找的是另外一种人。
Jesus says, I'm looking for someone who's broken, who's hungry.
耶稣说：“我在找一个破碎的、一个饥渴的人。”
And when he sees this, he sees that hunger. He says, this is faith.
当耶稣看到你里面的饥渴，他就说：“我看见了你的信心，看见了。”
Yeah. One of my mom's favorite songs is called the Bruised Reed.
我妈妈很喜欢的一首诗歌叫《压伤的芦苇》。
压伤的芦苇，它不折断，将残的灯火，它不吹灭。That is my friend Jesus.
这个就是我的好朋友耶稣。
You know, when I was a young Christian,
当我刚刚成为基督徒的时候，
I met a man who left a deep impression in me.
我碰到了一个人，他给我的印象很深。
I have never met a man with greater intelligence or a sense of love of life.
我从来没有见到一个这么聪明又这么热爱生命。
He was a very successful man.
他是一个很成功的人。
He owned a factory in South Africa.
他在南非有一个工厂。
He had a couple of kids who graduated from, happened to be Stanford.
他有几个孩子是从斯坦福毕业。
When I met him, he had cancer.
当我碰到他的时候，他已经得了癌症。
He came to Toronto to seek treatment.
他到多伦多，因为想到那里找一些治疗。
He talked to me, I think, because in part my father had cancer.
他之所以能够跟我谈到话，也是因为我爸得了癌症。
He was an intensely vibrant man.
这个人里面真的是那种活跃的生命力。
I remember we went fishing at night.
我记得我们那时候夜里去捕鱼。
It was all dark, and we were just grabbing these smelts that's running up the little river.
那时候有小鱼从那个小河进来，我们大家都在那里抓。
Because he was under treatment, he can't touch the water.
因为他那时候在疗程中，他不可以碰水。
But he just hold up, and he was all excited.
结果他就包紧了自己，然后就非常的兴奋。
I tried to talk to him about Jesus.
我那时候也试着跟他传耶稣。
He listened very carefully.
他很仔细的听了我讲。
And then he told me this.
然后他就跟我说。
He said, Charles, I have a factory.
他说 Charles， 我有一个工厂。
I have hundreds of people working for me.
我手下有好几百人为我工作。
If one of them comes to me,
如果有一个人来找我，
he was lazy for years.
他好几年来都很懒散。
And then I'm going to fire him.
我就决定要开除他。
He begs me.
然后他那时候就求我。
You know what I would do?
你知道我会怎么样做？
He said, I'd fire him.
我还是会开除他。
He said, all my life, I didn't pay attention to God.
那我这一生从来就没有关注过神。
Now I'm dying.
现在我要死了。
He said, if I were God, I wouldn't let me in.
如果我是神的话，我不会让我通过的。
He went back to Hong Kong.
他回到香港。
And he died 3 weeks later.
3个礼拜之后就过世。
I don't know what he decided.
我不知道他到底有没有做决定。
But I wish I had told him more.
但我真的盼望那时候能够告诉他更多。
I wish I had a chance to tell him what I'm telling you today.
我能够告诉他，今天我要告诉你的。
What God sees is not what we see.
神所看的不是我们所看的。
What God sees and what He wants from us is not what you think.
神看到的，神所要的，不是我们想象的。
He doesn't want you to come here thinking, "Oh, look, I earned it."
他不要你到他的面前说：“你看，是我赚来的。”
Yeah, I've been good all my life. I deserve it.
我一生都很好，我就配得的。
He wants you to come and say, "Oh God, I need you."
他要你到他的面前，告诉他说：“你需要我。”
Can you forgive someone like me?
你可不可以赦免一个像我这样的人？
And that's indeed what He calls someone who wants to know God.
这就是一个真正想要认识神的人。
This is the sick who needs a doctor.
这个就是那个病的人，他需要医生。
Yeah. Let me go to the last one.
讲最后一点，现在。
Both of these people, they seized their opportunity.
这两个人都抓住了他们的机会。
Yeah. You know, the two of them, they just didn't sit there.
他们这两个不是就坐在那儿。
Yeah. A lot of people say they believe in the existence of God.
很多人都说我相信神存在。
Some of you say, I believe in Jesus.
有些人甚至说我相信耶稣。
But they don't do anything about it.
但是他们什么也不做。
They'll say, oh, this is all very interesting.
他们说，哎，这个都很有趣。
But I don't want to do it. It's not for me.
但是我不愿意有任何反应。
There may be a lot of reasons for this.
可能有很多的因素使得他们这样。
Some say, well, it's intellectual.
有些人说，哦，这是我的，因为我的知识。
I grew up in atheist society.
我是在一个无神论的环境之下长大。
It's just unscientific to believe in God.
对我而言，相信神是不合科学。
But let me tell you this.
但是让我告诉你，
there's no incompatibility between Christianity and science.
科学跟基督教中间没有冲突的。
The same God created science also gave us this message of life.
这个创造科学的神，同时也给了我们这个信息。
Science teaches us how things work.
科学告诉我们这些事情是如何发生。
Faith tells us why we are here.
信心告诉我们为什么我们今天在这里。
Science deals with the physical, the material.
科学是针对于物质的世界。
Faith deals with the spiritual, the soul.
信仰是针对你的灵，针对属灵的世界。
You can analyze every musical note in a musical composition.
你可以一首歌，你可以把它每一个音符都分析好。
That's science.
那个是科学。
Faith helps you to understand.
但信心帮助你的认识。
Why, when you hear it, you cry?
为什么你听到这首歌你会流泪？
Science talks about how the embryo develops in a womb.
科学告诉你说胚胎怎么样发展。
Faith tells us why we are made.
信心告诉我说为什么你会活在这世上。
There is nothing incompatible between rationality and faith.
所以理智跟信心中间是没有冲突的。
I like to quote Blaise Pascal, a mathematician.
我很喜欢讲 Blaise Pascal 这个数学家所说的话。
One of the most brilliant mathematicians of all time.
事实上，他是一个最杰出的数学
A
家。
very fervent believer in Jesus
他
Christ.
同时也是非常相信耶稣的一个信徒。
He says reason's last step
他说，信心的最后一步
is the recognition that reason alone is not enough.
就是认出理智是不够的，
理智的
本身是不够的。
The ultimate end of reason is to show us reason alone is not enough.
你知道，理智的最终点就是要告诉你理智不够。
If you are really rational,
如果你真的有理智的话，
you will know the limits of your rationality.
你就会认出你自己理智是多么有限。
And with a rational faith, you ask the infinite God to come into your life.
所以你借着这个理智的信心，你就要求这个无限的神进到你的生命里。
Very good. So there are intellectual obstacles.
所以可能是有你这个知识上的一些障碍，
Sometimes it's emotional obstacles.
有时候是感情上的障碍，
Something that happened to you in the past.
可能是发生在你过去的一些经验。
Well, I had a bad experience with Christians.
像有些基督徒给我很不好的经验。
I grew up in a convent. I had a friend who says I grew up with nuns, and I had enough.
有些人说我进了天主教学校，那些修女让我很痛苦。
Sometimes it's broken relationships,
有时候是一些破碎的关系，
betrayals,
有人背叛你，
deep hurts,
因为很深的伤，
and we charge it to God.
然后我们就把这一切债都归在神的身上。
There may be other obstacles,
可能还有一些其他的阻拦，
physical,
可能是身体上的阻拦，
geographical, cultural.
地理上的、文化上的。
But look at this paralytic.
但你看这个摊子，
When he got to that house,
当他到了那个屋子的时
it
候，
was already crowded.
那时候已经很挤了。
And he overcame all sorts of setbacks.
他克服了很多的困难，
He applied ingenuity.
他动了他的脑筋，
He had friends.
他有朋友，
They went through all that trouble.
他们经过了好多的困
They
难，
presented himself to
然后
Jesus.
就把这个人坠在耶稣面前。
Yeah. There will come this moment in your life.
但是你这一生也会有那么一刻，
Your friends are very helpful.
你的朋友帮了你很多，
Ultimately, you are presented before Jesus.
到最后你站在耶稣面前，
You face him alone.
你单单独独的面对他，
Jesus looks at you.
然后耶稣看着
He
你，
says, I tell you, get up.
他说：“我告诉你起来，
Take your mat and go home.
拿着你的褥子回家去。
This is a scary moment. ”
这是一个很害怕的一刻，
But this is what the man did.
但是这个人就这样做了。
Now, think of Levi, the other guy.
你想想利未，
He was sitting in the tax booth.
他坐在税关上，
Pretty successful tax collector.
蛮成功的一个税
Good
吏，
career.
事业也挺不错的。
Then Jesus walks by
耶稣走过来，
with a bunch of fishermen.
有一大堆渔夫跟着他，
It's not his usual crowd.
这些人不是他平常相处的人。
Jesus looks at him.
耶稣看着
He
他，
says, "Follow me."
就说：“来跟从我。
How many things could have happened in that fateful moment? ”
你想在那一刻有多少事情闪过他的头脑？
What about my career?
他说：“我的事业怎么
What
办？
happened to my life's work?
我这一辈子工作成果怎么办？
Maybe I'm a party member in the Chinese Communist Party. What's going to happen to me?
如果我是国民，不是国民党，
Whatever party.
如果我是党员怎么办？
There may be family concerns.
可能家里也有些让你担心的事。
What would my family think?
我爸妈，我家怎么想
A
的？
bunch of them may be Buddhists.
很多人可能是佛教徒，
What about my freedom?
那我的自由怎么办？
But he just got up.
但他就站起来。
Somehow these things just flashed by.
突然间，虽然这些事情闪过他的头脑，
Maybe he heard about Jesus.
可能他听说过耶稣，
Maybe he's seen some of the miracles he's done.
可能他见过他行的奇迹。
He never thought one day Jesus would look at him.
他从来没有想到有一天耶稣会转头来看他。
But at that moment he realized it's what he always wanted.
但在那一刻，他知道这真的是他最要的。
At that moment when Jesus turned to him, he just got up.
所以当耶稣转眼看他呼召他的时候，他就站起来。
Jesus saw not just the tax collector.
因为耶稣看见的不光是一个税吏，
He saw the longing.
他看到他里面的渴望。
And then this man,
然后这个人
a very simple man,
很简单的一个人，
he came.
他就跟了，
He followed Jesus.
跟随着耶稣，
That changed everything.
一切都改变了。
Life is very short.
人生很短，
We hardly have days like this morning together.
我们能够像今天早上这样相聚的机会很少。
Think about your life.
想一想，回顾一下你这一生，
What do you most need?
你最需要什么？
What do you most want?
你最想要什么？
That's right.
我们来祷告。
Father, we just thank you for this time together.
父神，我们谢谢你给我们以上这段时间，
Thank you that you know our hearts.
真感谢你，因为你深深知道每个人的心。
Everybody sees what's on the outside,
别人看见外面，
but you see what's on the inside.
你真是看到我们心的里面。
When we leave our house every day, we wear a face that we keep in a jar by the door.
每一天我们离开家门出去的时候，我们把真正的面目就留在家里。
But you know our hearts.
但你看见我们的心，
And what is so amazing is that you want to be our friend,
不可思议的是，你要成为我们的朋友，
to fully know us and to fully love us.
深深的来认识我们，深深的来爱我们。
Well, we want this more than anything else.
主，我们真的是很想要这个。
Lord, there's so many smart people here.
主啊，在这里有很多聪明人，
So smart.
好聪明。
Sometimes when we're so smart, we become dumb.
有时候太过聪明了，反而就傻了，
We can't see how you see us.
没办法看到你怎么样来看我们每个人。
It's great if you would give us light to see how you see us.
有时候也怕你给我们光，让我们看见真正的自我。
But you said, blessed are the pure in heart.
但你说清心的人有福，
The pure in heart.
清心，
For they will see God.
因为他们必得见神。
I just pray that we would be pure in heart.
主，我今天的祷告就是让我们每个人都纯纯洁洁的做一个清心的人。
Every soul
你
here,
在这里的每一个人，
pure in heart,
让我们有清洁的心。
and nothing to hide.
你不需要，也没有什么好藏。
Or we need a doctor.
我们每个人都需要医生。
This morning, as we bow our heads,
今天早上，让我们低下头来。
I just want to give everyone here an opportunity.
我要在这里给 每一个人机会。
If you never professed publicly your faith in Jesus,
如果你以前从来都没有